Hey, they still exist. New steering wheels for less than 1,000, no, even less than $500. Thrustmaster is launching its new Hypercar Wheel Add-On on 14th November. Not only is it almost shaped like the Daytona International Speedway, but it also surprises with other clever details that we haven't seen before. Add to that a high-quality automotive material mix and a noble design. In terms of the overall theme, this really is an attempt to bring something new to the table. Will it work and will it live up to the Hypercar claim? Let's find out. Welcome back to Overtake, I'm Michel, and from the moment I unboxed the Thrustmaster Hypercar Wheel Add-On, I was surprised by the high quality feel it had. 399 euros or US dollars is of course no bargain, but the 12.6 inch or 320mm wide wheel not only features the finest Alcantara, the real one with the R, but also perforated leather handles and a forged carbon piece here. It is compatible with Thrustmaster's newer wheel generations, in other words the T818 and the recently introduced T598, plus future wheelbases. So depending on the wheelbase, it's PC, Xbox and PS4/PS5 compatible. The wheel looks very unusual at first glance. I've never seen such a consequent oval shape before in a steering wheel. The thickness of the grips is definitely very comfortable. It sits well in the hand, is rather light at 1,433 grams, but still very solid. Even with a lot of force, nothing bends at all. The button layout is where the first surprises are to be found. 4 rotary encoders, 2 very subtle buttons at the top, 4 buttons on the right that perform the corresponding functions of, for example, X, triangle and so on the PlayStation. It's just a shame that the included sticker set doesn't include any useful decals, which is the first small missed opportunity. On the left is a simple D-pad, so that's not a 7-way switch to turn or press, just directions. 3 silver switches here at the bottom give us some more options for mappings, and the 2 toggle switches here on the aluminum faceplate. Although they have 2 directions, you can only use one to map functions. Pressing them down is reserved for some wheel functions that I will explain shortly. Both the rotary encoders as well as all of the buttons have very good pressure points and are very crisp, no complaints. So where is the surprise, you ask? I find the 2 front analog triggers interesting, as they make up for the lack of dual clutch pedals on the back and can take on several functions at once. I'll tell you more in a moment. A real highlight are the magnetic pedal shifters, which are incredibly satisfying and quick to operate thanks to really beefy rectangular magnets. Do you know of any other steering wheel that use these type of magnets? I've only ever seen the round ones. Illumination or lighting is only available in the form of 2 small LEDs, which either show a simple form of RPM display, blue and yellow flags, or active pit limiter, provided the telemetry supports it. Otherwise, they also indicate function selections of the 2 analog triggers. If you want to find out which games support which LED features and what you need to set up for Le Mans Ultimate, for example, we recommend you take a look at the Thrustmaster support page, where you can also find recommendations for force feedback settings and much more. There are no shift lights, but Thrustmaster designed the wheel primarily as an add-on for the T818 wheelbase, and since the T818 itself has LED functions there on the top, this makes perfect sense. It certainly looks cool when the 2 small LEDs from the wheel work in harmony with the wheelbase. And the shape of the wheel is absolutely perfect to see the wheelbase's LEDs clearly. What I would also like to see is a thumbs up if you like our videos. Then you should also subscribe to the channel for free and activate the bell so you don't miss anything in the future. Also, feel free to leave your thoughts and feedback in the comments. Thanks to you guys, we've just hit 150k subscribers. Amazing. Let's move on to the features and software. Unfortunately, there's still no real software from Thrustmaster, just a few options in this Windows devices area. This is not acceptable in 2024. The big problem is that Thrustmaster has to solve everything with these like cheat code style key combinations, which become more and more confusing the more stuff they add. While controlling the LEDs on the T818 with these side buttons was okay, the LED and analog trigger settings now culminate in a terrible user experience. I think it's really commendable that we're given the opportunity to use the analog triggers in a variety of ways. As independent access, as throttle and brake, interesting for disabled people or people without pedals, or even as clutch triggers. This is where our two silver toggle switches on the faceplate come in. Pressing them down allows you to adjust the brightness and function of the LEDs as well as a clutch bite point. Very useful for sim racers doing standing starts in Formula or Porsche Cup and iRacing, for example. But the way this is set up will inevitably mean that casual users, perhaps driving with their setup every 1 or 2 weeks, will have to look at the manual again and again. The procedure is explained under a clutch assist function in the manual, where you have to painstakingly set this bite point by feel. It's not possible to set a value such as 40%, for example. You literally have to feel your way around. I have done this here using iRacing as an example. If you then hold down both analog triggers and then release the first one, the bite point works quite well, but it could be also much better when you have a fixed value and can be more precise. And who can remember all the colors of the functions? I was a bit shocked and hope this is just a temporary solution until Thrustmaster has some sort of tool suite or app. Otherwise, the two analog triggers are a great idea. I've also tried WRC, where you can map them as handbrake or clutch for the clutch kick, even if you have to stretch a bit in the corners. Where the Hypercar add-on really shines is in cars and motorsport, where the steering angle is 360 to 540 degrees. It feels really good, and the absolute highlight, as already mentioned, are the shift pedals, which can be easily adjusted with screws if necessary. Like you have this 3 little holes here, where you can go from left to right. The oval shape also gives a good view of the lower part of the screen then when you have it in front of your monitor. The steering wheel feels suitable for pretty much all the disciplines I currently enjoy driving, be it GT3s, cup cars or prototypes. Of course, it is best suited to sports cars, supercars or hypercars, as in Assetto Corsa. Overall, the whole layout is a compromise, of course, but it covers a lot of driving styles and is therefore a good all-rounder. If I were to buy a single wheel for my Thrustmaster T818 base, it would probably be this one. For the pedals and the look and feel. Rally drivers and drifters will be more at home with the Evo Racing 32R leather, which I reviewed here in April. Pure motorsport sim racing wheels like the SF1000 Formula 1 wheel, or wheels from other manufacturers like a SimMagic GT Neo or Moza KS wheel obviously offer a slightly more ergonomic, more focused for racing button layout. But with Thrustmaster you are buying into a single ecosystem anyway. Unfortunately, there are no official standalone or adapter solutions for using the wheel on other brands' wheelbases. So, the Hypercar Wheel Add-on has its ups and downs. Still, it gets a solid 8 out of 10 from me. I really like the thing itself, it's fun and has better shifters and better materials and workmanship than steering wheels that sometimes cost twice or 3 times as much. It's just high quality, and Thrustmaster are taking another step towards more mature products away from the toy appeal. If they make the wheel's functions accessible through good software, it's a 9 out of 10. So what do you think? Would the Hypercar Wheel Add-on be a good addition to your Thrustmaster setup? Let us know. And thanks for watching. See you next time.